Saturday, Sunday we took off. Yesterday we met and took a look at what we can fix on film from the UMass game, and took the big takeaways from that. Trying to figure out how we navigate all of our challenges, knowing an hour before practice at 11 o'clock I found out that Jesse would in fact need surgery to correct his wrist. So once again, another challenge that we got to deal with and face head on, but that's what we're going to do. I've said throughout this whole thing, we're not going to be a victim. We're going to take our challenges head on, and we're going to attack them. So here we are with another one that we're going to have to overcome, especially knowing we got two really hard games coming up even before we break for Christmas. So looking forward to bringing in Darius Nichols, a very, very good friend of mine, and probably the closest friend I have in the coaching business, coming into town tomorrow, and look forward to seeing him. And he's got a really good team, and in his third year there at Radford, he's really elevated that program to a high-level team that I think has a very good chance of winning their league. So, we'll go again today, and we'll attack this challenge head on, and look forward to taking on a good Radford team tomorrow.
So Jesse's injury, in terms of details of it, extensive break. Well, how bad was, significant was the surgery? What can you tell us?
I believe the surgery is tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure the intricacies of the surgery and the names of the bones or anything like that. I was a business major, like I said before, so I try to stick to what I know, and more than anything, I just want to know how quick he could recover and whether it's something he'd be back for us this year, and it sounds like that will be the case. So we're looking at probably around 4-week recovery time. So we'll do everything we can with him in practice to keep him ready to go and engaged and locked in, so he'll be ready to transition right back in when that time comes. And I have full faith in Jesse staying on top of everything and being engaged, so that's nothing I'm concerned with there. But it will be a challenge from the fact that there for the longest time we didn't have any guard depth. Now we have some guard depth, but we never had a backup center, so here we are trying to play without a center. So we'll figure it out, and we'll take this challenge head on.
Is it for Jesse's mood when you told him, or he found out?
He was cautiously optimistic before the MRI and the X-ray, but he had this injury his junior year with his left wrist. So he said it didn't hurt nearly as bad this time around. So, but it sounds like he had a very similar, if not the same, injury to his left in his junior year. So he was well aware of what could be, and it sounds like that was the case, that it was worst case scenario.
4 weeks, the best case for him to come back?
That's just the timetable I've been told at this point, so I'm guessing that's probably the minimum recovery time.
I guess your two options then is to either use a Cook or Pat or go small, right? Those are the two, or just go completely a different route? Yeah,
I mean, you look at a Cook at the 5, and I know that's not his natural position by any means, but he's very serviceable at the 5, and I hate for him to play that many minutes at the 5. But then we also have Pat Sumnick that has been waiting for his opportunity, and I'm sure he didn't want the opportunity to come this way, but he's going to have to step up to the plate for us and give us everything he's got, and hopefully he can service that role.
Good. You spoke to the officials about, before he got hurt, about the way he was being promoted during that game. It's happened all year. I mean, people have been pounding him pretty good down low. What can be done about that? What is the officials' responsibility in protecting players who are in that situation?
Well, I mean, I've said it over and over again. That's people's strategy against us. They know we don't have a backup big, and anybody with any depth was going to completely use their depth to be as physical as possible with Jesse. And I think it started in the SMU game down in Fort Myers. I thought that's when they they really started to take advantage of us and understand that that would be our kryptonite by just completely using their depth to foul them. And what I can do about it, there isn't a lot I can do about it, but I can vocalize it the best I can. I knew going into that game, by the numbers, UMass was 346th in the country in opponents' free throw attempts, and we were second in the country in that same stat, only allowing our opponents to go to the line 10.7 times. Consequently, they were sending people to the line 26 times, and for whatever reason, Frank found a way to flip the script on us, and they shot 20 more free throws. So I knew going into it, and I was very clear with our team that Frank and his personality is going to, I know how he's going to approach this game. He's going to use as much physicality as possible to negate some of our skill, and he certainly took that approach. And from a coaching perspective, he's doing everything he can to figure out how to win, and he used that approach. And the way the game was called, I warned those officials during the game, like, somebody's going to get hurt. Especially, the one I was concerned about was Jesse, and I'm always concerned about Jesse, the way they attack him.
Coach, just if the roles were reversed, you were coaching UMass, Frank was coaching West Virginia, situations being the same. I mean, the strategy, your strategy would kind of be the same way, wouldn't it, though? I mean,
Yeah, that's what I said. From a coaching perspective, it makes
right.
sense.
Yeah.
So you feed off how the game is called to figure out whether you need to make adjustments or whether. So it was critical how the game was going to be called, and they allowed it to happen, and consequently, here I am without an all Big 12 center that I don't have any depth
Right.
for to replace. So it's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate.
When you guys met after the game, was that part of any conversation, you and Frank?
Yeah, it was part of the conversation.
Was it? I mean,
It was a brief
you said
part.
before the game he's a friend of yours.
Yeah,
Is he still?
He'll always be a friend of mine. He's been very loyal to me and a mentor of mine. And I don't think by any means they had any intention of hurting Jesse Edwards. They knew they were going to be very physical with Jesse Edwards. And consequently, the way the game was called, he gets hurt.
Raekwon's health, how's he now? Is he better?
He's not 100%. He went yesterday, and you can tell it wasn't Raekwon at his 100% level, but he's getting there. He's certainly on the mend. So hopefully I see even more improvement today. So I'm excited for him that things are going in the right direction for him in terms of his health. So even the entire day on Saturday, he warned that he thought he wouldn't be able to play, but I said, well, let's pump the brakes, figure out what we can do for you throughout the day. I didn't bring him to shoot around, let him rest, and by the time we were loading the bus and heading in, he was getting ill, even walking into the building. So I knew at that point that he wouldn't be able to go today, and being down 13 pounds. And I'd be doing a disservice by throwing him out there in the condition he was in, or forcing the action, so to speak.
Planning to play him Wednesday?
Yes, 100%.
Can he play a small forward position or more shooting guard? I mean, necessity makes these things.
Yeah, it's typically who you can guard in terms of your position in basketball, and he can guard 1, 2, or 3. So obviously he's not going to be the one handling the ball by any means, but he can guard the 2 or the 3. So that's not a problem there.
Darius doesn't have a super big starting lineup, but he does bring bigs off the bench. But if you look at him, they got 3 guys that can shoot threes. They got a guy that's blocked 25 shots, and they got a guy that's grabbed 44 offensive rebounds. So there's some unique challenges with them, aren't there?
No, certainly their bigs are they do a lot of the intangibles. I think his biggest strength are those 3 guards, especially in the starting lineup, and they got some good guards that come off the bench as well. But their bigs play their role to what they can give their team, and they certainly play that at a high level. And we talk about, as basketball coaches all the time, excel in your role. That's how you help a team win. And he's got guys that are excelling in their role and bought in, which is, it's, you look at coaches and trying to build a program, and it's usually year 3 when they really start to peak, and they're starting to peak, and they're playing really well, playing good basketball.
Coach, with the situation that Noah and Kerr, when they were sitting out, and obviously, they practiced, but, there were other things you had to get ready for. With the way they played Saturday, any of that surprise you, considering the situation that they had been in? And then moving forward, I'm sure there's probably some, thoughts on what they can accomplish moving forward.
Yeah, going into it, none of us in our wildest dreams thought Noah would be playing this year.
Yeah.
And so he put a lot of his focus and energy into helping us on the scout team. And we didn't get him nearly the reps that we would have got knowing that he's going to be, thrown into the fold. He would have been getting all kinds of reps knowing that was coming. So we primarily kept him, if we were going to get extra reps at the point guard, it's going to be JB, or it's going to be Kobe and Kerr. So not knowing, so we kind of did ourselves a disservice, I guess. We had no idea. So we used him where we could use him, when we thought it'd be benefit the program. And